Welcome to Motor Spins. I'm your host, Joe Lombardi, and next to me is a beautiful car. This is a 2021 Aston Martin DBX. Now, this is Aston Martin's first foray into the SUV market, and mostly it's because of the upswing in needs for crossovers and SUVs by pretty much every manufacturer, including the likes of Bentley, Rolls-Royce, Lamborghini, Porsche. Name it, they probably have an SUV now. And Aston Martin wanted to join the club. But this is actually a pretty special car regardless of the modern trends, because this actually is a unique chassis. This is built specifically for the DBX, so it doesn't share with any other car, unlike its competitors like Lamborghini and Bentley, who harken all the way back to a Volkswagen Tiguan. Not hating on it, I'm just pointing it out. So, it was made for the 2020 model year, and it is powered by AMG's GT engine. This is a twin-turbo V8. Mercedes-Benz owns about 5% of Aston Martin, which is actually beneficial in my opinion, because that means that Mercedes-Benz is able to lend them some engines, some technology. They're well renowned for being a luxury car company that makes beautiful vehicles. So, you know, I think this badge means more than the Bond films personally. So it is nice to see it large and in charge up here up front. So we have the traditional Aston Martin grille with the semi-heritage slats that go across with these vertical cross beams. So you'll probably be noticing something else here, and that's the paint. This is a beautiful exterior color, and it is an expensive option. It's a $10,000 paint job. It's called Satin Xenon Gray, and it just has this gunmetal kind of finish to it. It's a very stealthy look, but it also kind of it's kind of a show-off paint in my opinion, just because it's kind of flashy at the same time. It's putting out around 545 horsepower, about 515 foot-pounds of torque, and it sends this car 0 to 60 in around 4.2, 4.3 seconds. But again, Aston Martins aren't really all about numbers, even though they did just win Le Mans GT class last year. Shout outs to Aston Martin. It's all about being an opulent luxury car. So let's go around to the side and see really what they did to the rest of the bodywork. All right, come along to the side. We have a few things to talk about here. First of all, let's point out these wheels. Now, these are optional wheels, and they are called the satin ribbon wheels. These are a lot to look at. There's a lot going on here. There's some bronze and you know, some matte. All right, so looking under the hood, we see right up front the beautiful 4-liter twin-turbo V8. And again, this is an AMG-sourced engine, so you're getting that same engine you get in the AMG GT, the GTS, the GT AMG Coupe that they, or I'm sorry, the GT 4-door that they released, and a bunch of other AMG products. And that's not a bad thing, because a lot of people do claim this is one of the greatest V8s ever made. I am prone to agree with that. All right, so a really cool feature about Aston Martins is the way they operate with the doors. The doors itself, the door handles, are flush with the body, but if you push in where these double dots are, you get a nice little handle. But the way they did this, they actually said this is because they want you to shake hands with the car so you get to know it a little bit better, which is, I mean, I'll buy it. It's kind of cool. So you pull, and then you get the swan door. Now, this is the famous Aston Martin design, the swan door. You can push this about 50, 60 grand above that base price, give or take. But the one we're sitting in right now, it falls around $220,000. And again, a lot of that is from that paint job being 10 grand, the wheels being about 5 grand. This like interior luxury pack being around 6, 7 grand. So there is a good amount of options in here, but again, if you're gonna get a DBX, if you're gonna get an Aston Martin, you're gonna have to expect to pay a lot more than you probably are used to, unless this is a normal thing for you. But I don't know, in my opinion, if you're considering this, there is other options. There's faster options. Obviously the Lamborghini will get you a faster 0 to 60 time. But there's something so elegant about this car. I mean, I just think this is like a really special vehicle, and I think it's a beautiful fashion statement. There's just something so nice about sitting in here, and I think that will translate to whoever you show this to as well. So nice job, Aston Martin. Good work. Okay, setting off in the 2021 Aston Martin DBX. Now, there is a lot of buttons on here, as I mentioned before, but really the main things you need to realize is this is going to control your center screen. So if you want to do anything, you just press this in to cancel. You can flip around to different parts of it like this, and you can adjust really different information. You can also put a map display up top. Also, you have voice command as well as some volume control. And then on the left side is mostly controlling your cruise control as well as your adaptive cruise control and other things like that. It's well as your Bluetooth calling. So with that in mind, again, when you turn the wheel here, you do see that the paddles stay in place. So these paddle shifters are fixed on the column, which is nice. Anyways, okay, so let's get started here. So we're going to start in our GT mode, which is our comfortable cruising mode. So let's see how comfortable this car is. Because again, Aston Martins are sports cars, yes, but they're also luxury cars. So let's see what the DBX can do for comfort. So obviously when you're cruising around here, you do feel comfortable because you are up high and you do have an air suspension system. So it is soaking the bumps up. But I mean, it's like, I just feel like every time I just tap this throttle, it's gonna wanna like take off. So I will say if you want a more luxury car or SUV, probably smart to go with more of like a Rolls Royce or maybe even a Bentley. I can tell you right now, this car really does want to drive very fast. So without much further ado, let's drop this down with our mode button here. Let's go into our sport mode, which you can see here, it puts the suspension, our steering, and our engine, as well as our exhaust system into a sportier mode. The gauges change to red, and yeah, I mean, it's it looks more aggressive, that's for sure. So we're gonna leave it in automatic mode just because I wanna see what the transmission does. I didn't mention this before, but this actually has Mercedes' new 9-speed automatic transmission. So let's see what it can do. Okay, there's a lot of push. Now, it's not initially jarring off the line. You do get a lot of pull from the top end of the RPM, but you're not really getting thrown back in your seat too hard. But again, it's trying to manage luxury and sport, so you do get a really nice pull, but you're not going to be uncomfortable the whole time. So let's toss this into a few downshifts here and see what we can do around this corner, because again, being an SUV with a performance edge, this is supposed to handle corners good. So let's see what this can do. Wow, okay. This handles like a car. It's crazy. This doesn't even feel like it's lifted up into the air. So you have a lot of oversteer if you really push it. It is an all-wheel drive system, but again, I just felt like this thing wanted to kick out with it, pretty much any throttle input there. So again, that 9-speed automatic transmission is definitely very responsive, although I do have to say there is a little bit of hesitation between the downs and the ups. I'm not sure if that was done intentionally for the off-terrain modes that this has in it. I don't know if there's any benefit to it, but this isn't the snappiest gear, but when it does actually kick you into gear, it kicks you into gear. I mean, I felt that in the back. It's definitely a loud car too. I mean, as I said, like you're well isolated with these windows being double paned and that convenience pack keeping us nice and quiet in here. So we're just getting like the remnants of a loud sports car, but yeah, I mean, you can tell this thing is ready to take off at any moment. You can tell this thing just wants to pop and crack. It's just fun. This is a fun car. There's also a police officer, so we're gonna behave ourselves for a second here. All right, let's come to a stop. So again, just sitting here at a stoplight, I have to say, like, you know, the car itself is a whole experience, even in the segment of the ultra luxury vehicles. So I guess this is a good way to stick out of the crowd because I don't think there's very many of these. As I said, they're like about 1,500 in total around the world. So if you want to prioritize being unique, I think this is a great option. I think this is a fantastic vehicle. And again, I love Aston Martin as a company because they really want to keep the old school alive with the way they make their cars. They want to keep the coach building aspect alive. And I have to say, I really appreciate them sticking to their mission statement. Thanks for tuning into Motor Spins. I've been your host, and this has been an Aston Martin DBX. Thanks for riding along with me because I've certainly had a good time and definitely felt posh. So I'll catch you guys on the next one.